Hey everyone. Hello. This is Marilyn Shannon and my gorgeous 100-year-old mother who is a twin. Many of you have seen her in videos throughout my lifetime doing these kinds of things. And most recently, we celebrated her 100th birthday. She's a twin. My aunt lives in New Jersey. My mother lives here with me in Raleigh, North Carolina. And she's a wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And so I want to thank all of you. Many of you have sent in questions, and here they are. There's a million of them, but they're really good. So I'm going to ask these questions of my mother, and I hope you enjoy and you learn a lot from her. Okay? All right, you ready? All
Okay,
right, so mom,
go.
first of all, what's it like turning 100?
I don't feel any differently than I did at 90. Personally, I feel the same. And I'm grateful that I could say that. And I hope I just continue feeling that way. A number is a number, an age is a number. And body wise, there's no change, in my opinion. And I hope I just continue. I love it.
All right. So I don't want to dominate the questions. I want to give the questions, ask you the questions that our audience has asked. So here's number one. What would you say is the greatest change you've seen in people since you were young compared to now?
Well, mostly physical. They've neglected themselves and they're on walkers and canes and wheelchairs. And I'm so ever so grateful. God is good to me that I've never had to expose myself to these articles for help. And I'm going on and I'm going to go on.
Well, what about other people? Not just the people in wheelchairs and walkers, but the youth, people like me. What do you see, through these years? What do you see as the biggest change in people today?
I think they work harder and they have no choice. It's very demanding out there today, and they spend a lot of time with children, and it's a necessity.
Good. And what would you say is the most important virtue that people should practice? Like what do you think is the most important thing people should do and why?
And why? I think people should never give up exercising and thinking about their own personal health as well as doing everything else because it's very important. And I feel that all the exercising I attribute my being here for.
And what are some habits that people should build while they're young and not wait till they're 70, 60, 80, 50? What should young people do early in life?
Being active physically, exercising, walking, yoga. I find yoga a must. It emphasizes all the needs of your body, and I think it's the foundation. Exercising, walking, yoga, eating well is the foundation of your life.
When you say eating well, what do you mean?
Well, we all think we're eating well, but there's a lot of food out there that have preservatives in it. This is my observation. And I try not to eat those foods. I eat a lot of fruit, home cooked foods. Restaurants are fine if you choose the right food to eat. And walking.
And what in your life was the most pivotal moment? Has there been one pivotal moment for you in your life that has made a big difference? A moment, whether it was a connection with another person, was it something that you have done, maybe not just exercise, but something else that you can look back at and say, yeah, that made a big difference for me?
I always took care of myself. If there was a problem with health, I addressed it. I had the best doctors, and I just think I took care of myself all through my life.
Was there
Not
any?
as a selfish person, but on a daily basis.
Well, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. So that was a good thing. Was there anything specific? Was it the birth of your children, like me? Was it your marriage? Was it a trip? Was there anything specific? A friendship, college, anything?
I am fortunate to say everything I've ever done, everybody I've known in my life has contributed positively to my life. And it's the same way today.
Okay, good.
Thank goodness I lean towards the right people and the right things. And it's a tribute to my being here.
So being around people that are what positive, what kind of people do you choose? And how do you choose them?
Gravity seems to take me to them. All my friends, I had a party. It was a party of love. I can't say it was a birthday party. It was a party of love
Your 100th,
on my
your
birthday,
100th birthday.
my 100th birthday. And everybody that was there had a heart of love. And those are the people I gravitate to. I love people. And somehow I'm fortunate to gravitate to those people that I could love and do love and continue to love always.
Mom, we're going to do this, but if you need a break, just let me know and I'll stop the video for a little while and you can have a break. Okay, you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. So, when you were young, did you spend time daydreaming?
What do you mean
Just
daydream?
kind of not just kind of thinking about things and just kind of going off into la la land.
No,
You didn't daydream.
no, I didn't daydream. My moments were accounted for and positive and productive. And I'm fortunate it all added to my being here and adding up to 100.
The next question is there has there been a conversation with someone, with yourself, that you wish you had had? Would you like to tell somebody something that you didn't tell them, or yourself, or me?
I thank everybody for adding all these joys, knowledge, people to my heart. And I thank them all for everything and who they are in my life.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the next question is going to be like fill in the blank. Okay, so the question is, I'll never forget about the day. Bleh. What would you fill in that day? I'll never forget the day. What? What happened?
One special thing.
Yeah, one special day. Of course, must have been when she gave birth to me. Was that the day?
That I gave birth to
Yeah, was
you.
that the day you'll never forget?
The day I gave birth to each one of my children was momentum.
All right, I'll settle for that. Okay.
Each and every one of them. One
Okay.
was as important as the other.
What about your wedding day?
Without goes without saying. It was wonderful.
What made it wonderful?
Getting married, who I was marrying, and the love that I had for him.
Okay. I love that.
And he lived up to those requirements and prerequisites my whole married life. I'm not going to tell you it was 100% perfect. Nothing is. But it was as perfect could be.
Was there a favorite time, kind of like a love story time that you and Daddy shared? Did you have a special trip that meant something to you? Was there something special that you and Daddy shared?
Well, I made the choices of where we travel because Daddy didn't enjoy it in as far as making the plans for it and going for it. But once he's experienced these suggestions that I have made in the past, he enjoyed it. In retrospect, it was wonderful. But to make the choice, he couldn't. And he allowed me to do those things in his place. And I was fortunate because I went on a boat to Europe. I traveled all over and I made the selection of where I wanted to go. I bought a house here and a house, and everybody enjoyed it with me. And so, the fact that didn't have the desire for these things, once he was exposed to it, he enjoyed it. And so it made it easier for me to make the choices, and he experienced them and enjoyed them.
And I think that's a really important fact for everyone to pay attention to because everybody doesn't always like everything, or they don't think they would, or they didn't experience it, so they say no to it. And sometimes we have to give people a little nudge and a little push, right? Along the way.
And I gave Daddy nudges and pushes
And shoves
and
sometimes.
shoves. But in the end, he enjoyed it as much as I
Did
did. So I was fortunate, and he was very fortunate that it worked that way. It was a positive experience, not a negative.
how do you feel you were as a parent?
What's that?
How do you feel you were as a parent?
I did the best I could, and I feel nothing is 100%, and I don't pretend to have been the best or 100% parent, but I did the best I could and knew how. And God was good to me because He was always there for me. And I think I did a reasonably good job.
Reasonably?
I'm not going to say 100%.
I think
I
she
did
did a
my
great job. I'm an
job.
interrupter. She did a great job. Yeah.
I did my best, the ultimate best that I could have done with my children. They all had good educations. I was always there for them as far as education goes, and and they were successful.
Do you have one little piece of advice for any parent that's listening?
Yeah, always be there for your children. Stand by them. Show them right from wrong, and let them express their feelings as well, because it's their lives. But be there to help them always.
And when you look back, and that's really good, what we call sage advice and grandma advice. So when you look back, is there anything you would change or not want to ever do?
Selfishly, I'd say I can't put my finger on it.
Okay.
So I must have done the ultimate best as far as I can see and I have experienced.
So I would say that that's coming from a place of the glass is half full instead of half empty, that it's hard to pinpoint. a specific event because it turned out you looked at the silver linings. You looked at the best case scenarios of things. Is that right?
Yeah,
And you found it. Okay, good. I'll
always,
buy into that.
always.
Okay. Um, what was the most adventurous thing you've ever done? I know one thing she did, but let's see if she can say it. This is like truth or dare or some kind of couples
Like
game.
what?
What is one adventure that you did? What's an adventure that you had? One big adventure.
That I experienced?
I think one that you did traveling, right? When you went
Yeah.
up in, was it Greece or somewhere where you went on the mule or you went on something? Oh, the Grand Canyon, what something. She went on some mule or something, and my father, they were somewhere. I don't remember where they were, and they were at this place where they had this choice of going on a mule, I think, and my father was like going to do it, and my mother was going to do it, so he encouraged her to go first. And then he waved to her from the bottom and said, "Go. I'll be
Enjoy
here with
yourself.
yeah, I'll be here when you get back." He never went on there, right? Do you remember that?
Some, was it a camel?
Something, yeah. Do you remember it some?
In Ireland, I think. I'm
Okay.
not going to swear to it, but I think it was in Ireland
And you went.
that I went on a ride
A ride.
that I never forgot. But I eventually attributed it to an experience and a pleasurable one because I had the guts in the end to enjoy it.
And that was gutsy.
And that was good for me.
Well, it would have been for me too.
It was gutsy.
I mean, I used to be gutsier, I think, but I'm gutsy now in different ways, I think.
I think you're amazing.
Well, thanks. And I appreciate that. But this is not about me. This is about her.
No, but I think when all is said and done, you're an amazing woman and you've done it for yourself and for everybody else.
Well, thanks, Mom.
And I'm proud of you, Marilyn.
Well, thanks for noticing. Okay, I'm going to try not to cry, but why not?
But it's with joy
It is with joy and appreciation.
and appreciation.
And you know what, huh, everybody out there, this is not always easy. Life is not always easy. You don't get to 100 so easily. You don't. I'm 71. I didn't get here easy either, and I'm not sure I got to 20 easy either. But none of it's going to be easy because where do you get learning from? Where do you get freedom from? Freedom comes from not being free. A fun thing, you got to have something to compare it to. So life's not easy, but
But when
um,
you look back and you can say it was wonderful, then you've accomplished a great deal. And
exactly.
you're not putting emphasis on the negative. You're putting emphasis on the positive,
Right.
which is what you want to remember and should remember.
Absolutely. So, Ma, did you ever break a rule? Did you ever get into trouble? I mean, she gets in trouble with me all the time.
Have a
But
diligent.
but did you ever get into like real trouble, like with your parents, or did you ever do anything wrong?
I'm sure I did,
Do you remember?
but it wasn't a memorable experience. Can't remember anything that I could put my finger on
Okay.
and say I should not have done that.
Okay. All right. Well, here's
Because
a
whatever was negative, I made positive.
touche. All right. Here's a question. It has to do with fashion. And you're a fashionista, as they say, which means you're a fashion queen. She's also a queen in the kitchen, which has stunted my kitchen growth. Okay, so next question is, what fashion trend do you remember and laugh at? Is there a fashion trend that you can remember, whether it was stretch pants, hot pants, or no pants? Was there ever a trend in
Only no
fashion?
pits.
No pants.
Otherwise, I can't think of anything that wouldn't have been okay.
Okay, so no pants. Anything else? Any other trend in clothing for a man or a woman that you can look back on and go, nah, that wasn't good?
No. If
Okay.
it wasn't good, I didn't do it.
But did you notice any?
Did I notice
Yeah, that
any?
anybody else was doing. Like
Yeah,
what?
sure.
Like what? Was there anything that you can think of or remember?
Well, you see people wearing things that to you are not appropriate or not appealing in any way, and you just go on,
Okay.
overlook it. It's not your concern. You're not
Okay.
living with it. And if you are, you try to change it.
So that's a good thought because too many of us um, don't have a boundary. And we cross those boundaries and get involved in stuff we shouldn't get involved with. And that, doesn't pertain to us. So that's really good advice. And I'm going to listen to that because that's probably one of the good ones for me too. If you could relive one day in your life, which day would it be?
My 100th birthday.
Okay. You
I'd
loved
like
it.
to relive that day.
Okay.
Close to it. It
Well,
was a memorable, privileged, happy, loving, priceless day in my life.
there you have it. Okay. Um, how did your family growing up? Grandma, grandpa? My mother had two brothers and a twin sister. Well, two older brothers and a twin sister, and of course, my grandparents. And both of her brothers, they were older. So one was responsible for my mother, and one was more responsible for my aunt. So they had and then they lived in a two-family home in Brooklyn, New York. My mother and her siblings and my grandparents lived upstairs, and my great grandfather and my aunt, my grandmother's sister, lived downstairs. And so we always were together. And my grandfather, my great grandfather, died at 102 or 100,
103.
103. And
Never was sick in the hospital. Never was ailing for any reason. He was an attribute in our growing up, in our lives.
he was very, very gentle, didn't speak English, spoke Polish, I think,
German.
German. Didn't, we never could speak to him really, but that didn't mean you couldn't speak to him. And my grandfather, and I could cry about this. This is the parents that my mother had. My grandfather kept me in dolls, all kinds of dolls, for my entire childhood. I had every doll you can imagine. I had doll families. I had all kinds of dolls. He would, if I passed a window and I said, "Look, Grandpa," it didn't take too long that I didn't get that. And I know it was the same for you and Ann Byrne, right? Oh, did you ever work outside of the home? Did you ever have a job?
Short-lived, but I had.
What was it?
I worked in a kind of a place was
Clothing. Did you work in the garment
it? I did
district?
in the garment center
In Manhattan?
in Manhattan. I worked as a salesperson, and I didn't work long because I met my husband, and I fortunately didn't have to work out of necessity. And so, since I didn't have to, I sure didn't. And I never worked. Went to school and graduated.
Which she means college.
I went to college, graduated culinary arts and education. I went to Brooklyn College and Cornell and had the best experience that anybody could ever want to have in their time of education. and that was my parents. I thank them every minute of every day of my life because I had all the chances and opportunities that anybody could have as a child growing up. I made those choices.
So here's another question. What world event can you think of in your life, news, whatever, that impacted you the most? World event. A world event that impacted you the most that you can think of.
COVID.
Okay. Talk about it.
The COVID viral infection changed my life drastically. And I can't say not for the better, but a lot of people suffered from it. I fortunately went through it and I'm still here. But a lot of people I know didn't make it. And for one virus to have affected so many people negatively is heartbreaking because it changed a lot of people's lives drastically. It changed mine. In the end, it was a positive change because eventually I would have probably done the same move that I did. But it took 4 years at least, 5 years of my life, not knowing what I was going to do or where I was going to go. I came to Marilyn and her family in Raleigh, North Carolina, which probably would have been where I would eventually have gone at that stage of my life. So I went a few years earlier, but it wasn't timing that I chose. It was invoked on me. And here I am. So it had positive effects on me. And I want to just wish it on everybody else. The old age, supposedly, that I'm experiencing with people that I love and places that I am. And I could have asked for more. Marilyn brought me here, and I ended up making this the choice of my life. And I'm not sorry for it. I feel blessed in addition to the years previous.
That's a very good answer. So, how did people how did people date when you were younger, like you and daddy or whoever? How did you all date?
Let me have the date.
I mean, today, people do a lot of things in groups. Sometimes it's hard for people to find a partner. What was the main way that people connected with something? We have the internet now. People go on dating sites. That's how I met my husband. What was it that back then?
Back then, it was meeting people. I met my husband really. It was a family kind of exposure. And I met him. It was family, indirectly.
So people were set up. People were introduced to each other back then more than they are now. Would you say?
I don't know because fortunately I haven't had that necessity of exposure. But my husband was indirectly related to people that I was related to. And it was that way that I met him. And then we continued a relationship. And I was took 2, 3 years before I married.
How come?
Well, I was just graduating college. and he was in the army, so his life was a little unsettled. And we just had those things to resolve.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. Listen, just want to say I have more questions, but I just want you all to realize that once this video gets posted and you have a question to dig a little deeper into any of these answers, you're going to comment with them. Okay. Don't worry about it. Just comment and I will make sure my mother answers those comments. Okay. So you may think of something after the show that you want to know. Maybe it's something personal about yourself and you want some advice. My mother is good at that. So you think, you know, just ask.
I'm
And
here.
she's here just like me. She's here. I mean, the apple don't fall far from that tree.
And that's the truth for you and for me.
So, Mom, if you can take something with you to heaven, what would you take?
Everybody that's here with me now. It
Okay.
would be selfish. It wouldn't be healthy and happy for other people. But I would want everybody to myself again. Always. Forever.
All right. What struggle did you have in your life that was the most difficult? Did you have a struggle in your life that was the most difficult?
I ever struggle. Well, when you were born, it was a struggle for me because you were diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis
Before I was born?
when you were born,
Oh, when I was born.
right after you were born. And from that moment on, you were in control and you took care of it.
What do you mean?
I couldn't do it.
What do you mean?
I took you to the doctors, I did it, but you did what was supposed to.
Me when I got older.
You followed it up
When I got
every
older.
day of your life.
But what about when I was young? Or that was the hardest thing for you was when I was sick?
Well, it was something that was in my head all the time, worrying, because it wasn't something that was getting better. It was there. We did everything to arrest it, but we couldn't cure it. And whoever cured it was you on a daily basis. I couldn't do it. I couldn't creep into your body and your skin. I directed it, but you did it.
That's all we ever can do for anybody is support them, but we can't make them do anything. You can lead a horse to water, but you
You
can't make.
cannot make them drink in any way.
What is?
And,
Go ahead.
and that's a big part of people growing up
What is?
and how they grow up
And
in direction.
mhm. So we have to direct them.
Everybody needs somebody. Can't do it alone.
Not much I can say about that because you all know that's true. And especially now, we all need each other more than ever. Back to this question. As somebody who's witnessed a century, an entire century, what is your advice on how to manage fear?
Examine the situation in depth to look for the positive and not put emphasis on the negative. If there's any positive possibility, you should find it
And
and look for it.
what would you tell people today about the fears that they're experiencing, with racism, with any of these kinds of things, women's health issues, any of those? What would you tell people about their fears around the fears that we're experiencing today?
Again, There's got to be negative, positive as well as negative.
So look for the positive.
Look for the positive because on a daily basis, everything isn't negative. So emphasize the positive, and the positive will get bigger than the negative.
I agree. Perfect. That's what I do every day. Otherwise, if I didn't do that every day, I wouldn't leave my bedroom. That's all because
That's right.
some things around here are bothering me in general, and I have to live my life and do the best that I can as well. So I don't just look at the fear. I don't just look at the negative. I do some
Balanced it.
a balance. Perfect. That's perfect. 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 Here's another fun question, or a fun question. Do you believe in the afterlife? Do you believe in reincarnation? That people come back?
In actuality, no. But in spirit, yes.
What's the difference?
Because it's impossible for it to. But you can think about it.
Don't you see
You
that?
don't
Don't
know.
haven't you seen people in the mirrors before and felt a spirit? I know you have. You've told me. You've seen Daddy at the end of your bed. You've seen. I remember once you saw, I think, an Ethel in your mirror. Do you remember those things?
No.
So, do you believe that people come and visit us?
Yes and no.
Okay, that's a good answer because we can
Some
believe.
people maybe do, most people don't. But the people who do, they do.
They do come back. You mean?
Maybe.
Okay. So it's something that you kind of sort of believe in some ways, but you haven't had total proof.
No, not really.
Okay, but that's basically what you're saying. Because I think that's a very important statement because I believe also that people come back and I feel like it's happening more and more and things are happening that we can't explain from the metaphysical, you know, plane or whatever it is, but yet there's no 100% guarantee because you can't guarantee it because we don't know, but we can guess. We can make a good guess, right?
There's a chance.
There's a good chance, right? Okay. Good answer. Uh, If you could give your 20-year-old self advice, if you look back at when you were 20, what would you tell yourself? Even knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself that
I don't remember my 20s, so
well, what would
I
you tell?
don't know what I would change.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like I was fortunate in every stage of my life to do the appropriate thing at the time.
So
So I'm not regretting anything I didn't do, and I'm not sorry for what I didn't do because I don't have any feelings of it. I feel that everything I did was accomplished.
so you remember all the good.
I remember the good.
Is that what happens the older you get? That you remember the good and not so much of the bad or the
I don't
negative?
know about everybody, but maybe I was fortunate enough to have a lot of good in my life. So I remember those. And I did have good in my life. And I still am.
Yes, you are.
So I'm not looking at the negative.
Did you keep secrets?
Not easily.
But you did keep
I don't know
something.
what
Like do something but you didn't tell.
no, not really.
Okay.
I wouldn't put that.
Okay. You wouldn't say that.
No.
Okay, good. Okay. Um Let me think. Uh well, I think that's about the end of these questions. But what I would like to say is there what is there anything that you have not shared that of anything you would want to that I haven't asked you yet that you can think of?
I'm just very fortunate in every way that my life is fulfilled.
what would you say to other 100-year-olds?
Enjoy every minute of it and go for it
And if
because it's a big accomplishment and no reason why you shouldn't.
is there anybody today, famous person, whether they are a musician, an actress, a politician, anybody that you would say, that you would like to meet, whether for good or not good?
No, not really. I think I've been exposed to enough people that give me pleasure, interest, help.
So you don't need anything.
I'm not looking for any one person.
You're satisfied. You're content.
I'm content, and if I'm not at any time, I know who to go to.
All right. All right. Anything else? Anything you want to ask me?
Ask you, I will tell you.
I know you will.
I
What?
think you've accomplished a great deal in your 70 years of life. Tremendous. Nobody could have done and handled yourself to the perfection that you have for 70 years. And I know it because I know how you've lived. I know what you've lived. And I'm there with you. And I think you're the best.
Well, Mom.
And nobody could have accomplished in any way what you've done in 70. So, man, keep going. Be Marilyn.
Well, if I couldn't be Marilyn, I'll be Gloria.
That's a compliment, but just to what you are and who you are.
Well, thank you, Mom.
And in that regard, too, I want you well, emotionally, physically, mentally, in every way. And only you can do it because you've been through it
Well, thank you.
and accomplished a lot.
I'm going to give her another kiss. This one's for me and for you. All right. Well, you all, I'm so glad you had an opportunity to meet my mother. And I'm sorry this is back and forth, but we're doing it in her apartment. And you know how that goes. It's not in my normal setting, but it's what the heck? It's what we have to do, right? To make it happen. So we're going to post this. I hope you share it as much as you can. And as I said, if you um, have a question that you have now that you heard her and you have something that you personally want to know, or you want to have us expand on something that she has said that I didn't ask, please feel free. It would be our honor and a privilege to answer those. And, you know, if you have a story that you want to share, get in touch with me. I love these stories. And if you have a person you want to share, you have whatever it is, an adventure, we all learn from all of these stories, and these stories are where we connect with our humanity in our humanity. And these are the most important things. You know that when you hear these stories, you're not alone. And it gives you permission, reassurance, it gives you energy, it gives you support and love. So, with that, I'm going to thank you all for tuning in, and we're going to say goodbye to my mother. All right, Ma, say goodbye.
It was my pleasure, joy, delight, and I wish everything I have felt and expressed to you enjoy it as well. 100 years of pleasure and love and everything to look forward to.
I do have one further question. How did you become so prolific? How did you become so emotionally balanced? Do you go to therapy?
I did go to therapy and I'm still going in a sense. And I love it. And everybody needs somebody. And it isn't always a professional, but very often it is. And if you find the right person, you're blessed because it could be a necessity for you. So look for them. If you don't find them easily, there's somebody else. But don't give up. Where there's life, there's hope. Always.
Amen to that. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Bye.